Hey, what's going on? Let's take a look at a vintage dealership promotional model. This is a 1963 Ford Thunderbird. It's one of my favorite cars. If you were a kid of the 60s or 70s, I think you remember Thunderbirds, right? What a crazy cool car this was. Really neat. So, this is one of those original factory made models that would have been or was distributed to a Ford dealership and was utilized as a sales tool or marketing tool, same thing, I guess, for this car by the sales staff at that dealership. We'll look at the rear. This is the standard look of these cars of this era. They will typically have the year of the model of the car stamped directly on the rear license plate. There's lots of things that make this car or these models stand out from kit models, right? Uh, Typically, everything is exact as possible as it looks on the car on the lot on the model that I'm holding in my hand. There's far fewer parts and pieces to the model. The hoods typically do not open. I've only seen one that opens. Uh, and there is a closed bottom, and you don't have to the factory when they assembled these, I don't know, there's probably 10 or 8 or 12 pieces to this entire model I hold in my hand. I haven't disassembled this one, but I have disassembled other models of the era. This is really a beautiful car, beautiful model. Let's talk about the color first, I guess. Let's talk about how this car was available, I believe, in 28 different color combinations when it came out. Isn't that crazy? This is called Sahara Rose. And to me, it's like, it's kind of a metallic pearl, uh, champagne kind of. What I think is interesting is it kind of goes, it's almost the same as one of our guys from yesterday. It's pretty close, isn't it? It's kind of cool that it's pretty close to the same as him. Let's start from the bottom up on this car. As I mentioned, these cars were produced uh, as marketing tools to either be given to the public or used by the sales staff to help sell cars. And this one in particular is a really fun one because when you turn it over on the bottom, it's got all kinds of writing on it. This writing is here for not only for the staff or the sales staff to help them memorize all of the things that the car is, all the that has to go with it, but it's also there for the people when they take this. Sometimes they would send these models home with people after they gave people test drives, and they had to make up their mind. They were thinking about it or something. They would send one of these models home with them. Let's start up here. I mean, let's check this all out. 2 years or 35,000 miles antifreeze protection, welded integral body and frame for quietness and strength. Thunderbird, unique in all the world. Special 3 phase rust prevention treatment. Wide tread. Longer life on the muffler. Cruise-o-matic drive, power steering, and self-adjusting power brakes, all standard equipment. 4 new Thunderbirds for 63. Swing-away steering wheel is standard. 100,000 miles or 3-year major chassis lubrication. It's a lot of stuff to remember if you're selling Thunderbirds in 1963, isn't it? Really cool. So, as I mentioned before, these cars typically have really nice tires made of rubber, and the wheels or the hubcaps are exact to what the model would have been on the lot. Metal axles, as you can see here. They were even using the same type of metal axle that they utilized for the cars that had the friction motors inside of them, but this one doesn't have a friction motor. You can see the metal hubs on the inside. This is because it's very important that these cars run smoothly, because a lot of times this car, the purpose of this car is that it's going to sit on the desk, and the salesman's going to talk about the options, and he's going to talk about the numbers, and you know, they want this is a sales tool, and it's a really good one, isn't it? This is a beautiful car. All right, so as I always say, my cousin had this car, and he actually did. My cousin Norm had this car. But this is a really popular car that if you were a kid growing up in the 60s and 70s, you remember seeing this driving down the road out the window of your mom's Plymouth station wagon. And you might remember these tail lights. And that really cool Thunderbird symbol that I always thought was really cool. This whole thing is really cool. I always thought that these big fins, and so in real life, this is all metal. So this car is heavy, and this rail that runs the length of the entire car is just like I mean, it's cool. You could run a marble right down there. Beautiful car. I don't know that I have much more. I've displayed this car in the past with this Gilbert James Bond figure that I have right here. He scales pretty nice to it, and I just think that, you know, his style and his look and everything. These Gilbert figures don't stand up all that well. If you know anything about them, they're hard to get to stand sometimes. All right, so yeah, I think that the 007 looks kind of good with this car. It's writing year, it's 1963 as well. Pretty cool. And then this guy is like, you know, the car is obviously futuristic design, but it's interesting that his color is so close. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll talk to you next time. Have a great day.